By the time I turned 32, I had already accepted a painful truth. In my mother's eyes, I would always come second. Hey guys, before we get into today's crazy family revenge story, make sure to subscribe to my channel and smash that like button if you love real-life shocking stories. Also, I want to know where you're watching from. Drop your country name in the comments right now. All right, let's get into today's story. My name is Ariel Thompson, born and raised in suburban Maryland, the older sister who was supposed to be strong, understanding, and selfless. Those words were my mother's favorite weapons. They sounded like praise, but they were really excuses, reasons she never had to choose me. My younger sister Naomi didn't have to earn love. She received it, openly, loudly, shamelessly. When Naomi wanted a car at 18, my mother co-signed the loan. When I asked for help with college books years earlier, my mother told me to figure it out like an adult. When Naomi dropped out of community college for the third time, my mother blamed the school. When I worked 2 jobs to finish my degree, my mother said, "That's what you're good at, surviving." I survived a lot. At family gatherings, the favoritism was public. My mother bragged about Naomi's potential while asking me why I hadn't bought a bigger house yet. She posted Naomi's selfies on Facebook with captions like, "My beautiful baby girl," while forgetting my birthday 3 years in a row. The worst part wasn't Naomi. It was my mother's denial. If I ever tried to talk about it, she'd smile that tight, dismissive smile and say, "You're imagining things, Ariel. You've always been sensitive." Sensitive. That word followed me everywhere. When my mother announced a special family dinner at her house, something in my chest tightened. She insisted everyone be there. My Uncle Raymond, my Aunt Cheryl, cousins, Naomi's boyfriend, and even my longtime partner, Marcus. "It's important," my mother said over the phone. "I want us all together." I should have trusted my instincts. When we arrived, the house smelled like roasted chicken and lemon cleaner, my mother's version of perfection. Naomi was already there, seated at the head of the table next to our mother, laughing too loud, wearing a designer dress I knew she couldn't afford. My seat was at the far end. Again. Throughout dinner, my mother's attention orbited Naomi. Compliments, reassurances, inside jokes. When Naomi announced she was working on something big, I smiled through the rest of dinner. That alone should have scared them. While Naomi basked in praise, I watched carefully. My mother's smug posture, Naomi's satisfied glances, the way family members avoided my eyes. Everyone knew. No one said a word. After dessert, my mother stood up with a glass of wine. "Since we're all here," she said, "I want to clear the air. Ariel has always struggled with jealousy. I think it's important we pray for her growth." The humiliation hit like a slap. She framed me as the problem. My aunt nodded sympathetically. My uncle cleared his throat. Naomi lowered her head, pretending to be humble, but her smile betrayed her. Marcus squeezed my knee under the table. I took a breath. "Actually," I said calmly, standing up, "I think it's time everyone heard the full story." My mother's smile froze. I reached into my purse and pulled out my phone, connecting it to the Bluetooth speaker I had brought intentionally. I didn't come here to argue. I came with receipts. The first audio clip played. My mother's voice filled the room, unmistakable. "Naomi deserves more than Ariel. She's prettier, she's softer. Ariel doesn't need me. She's built to struggle." The room erupted in gasps. My mother stood up abruptly. "Turn that off!" I didn't. Another recording played. This one from 6 months earlier. My mother speaking to her financial advisor. "Yes, I already moved funds from Ariel's trust. She won't notice. Naomi needs it now." My hands were shaking, but my voice was steady. "For years," I said, "I was told." Dinner ended early. Family members left in stunned silence. Naomi locked herself in the bathroom. My mother sat at the table, mascara-streaked, hands trembling. "You embarrassed me," she whispered. I laughed softly. "No, I revealed you." But the truth was, I wasn't done. What no one knew was that I hadn't just gathered evidence, I had planned. Months earlier, after discovering the missing trust funds, I contacted a lawyer. Quietly. Thoroughly. The dinner wasn't for confrontation, it was for witnesses. The following week, my mother was served papers. Civil suit, financial fraud, breach of fiduciary duty. Naomi. 6 months later, we held another dinner. Not at my mother's house. At the lake house. My house. I invited the same family members, same table layout, but this time, I sat at the head. My mother arrived late, visibly thinner, quieter. Naomi didn't come. She had moved back in with her boyfriend's parents. Over dinner, I made a toast. To clarity, I said, and to truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Everyone clinked glasses. Then I looked at my mother. "I've decided to forgive you," I said calmly. Her eyes filled with hope. "But forgiveness doesn't mean access. You won't be staying here, you won't be making decisions for me, and you won't ever rewrite what happened." Her face fell. "This house," I added, "will be donated in Dad's name to a women's legal aid foundation when I'm ready. Something meaningful, something honest." She nodded, defeated. After dinner, as guests left, my mother lingered. "You always were strong," she said quietly. I smiled, not bitter, not angry. "I had to be. You made sure of that." I closed the door behind her. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel second. I felt free.